Hi guys! Today we are going to be starting a new unit on the artist habits of mind or studio habits of mind. We have talked about the 8 different studio habits. You guys have all made a folder with the 8 habits listed, and today our focus is going to be observe. So speaking of observe, I would like you to observe very closely this next video.
The first thing an artist must do is to observe the world around them carefully. Observing is another word for looking closely. Artists should be curious about how things work and how things fit together. A good artist notices things that other people miss.
Okay, so back to your folders. You guys are going to have to carry this with you everywhere that you go today, and inside each of your folders there is a packet. This packet is what we are going to be using each day of class. We are going to be looking at one box per class. Today we are going to look observe, and you can see that your goal for each day is going to be written underneath the habit. So it says, I can look closely at art and describe in detail what I see. Over to the right it says check off stations as you complete the activities. There are 4 stations today, and as you complete one you are going to check it off just like it asks. So let's go check out our stations. You guys will notice that at each of the stations there is a basket with cards. These cards have the directions for the stations, so if at any time you forget something from this video, you're going to use this card. It has step-by-step what to do. Okay, so I'm going to look at the first step here. It says gather materials. 1 book, 1 transparency sheet, 2 different colored markers, and an eraser. An eraser could be an actual eraser or a cloth. I'm going to grab a cloth. I'm going to get a book. Transparency sheets are inside of these folders, so you can take the whole folder, and 2 different colored markers. Okay, the I Spy directions go as follows. You need to open the book, go to any page that you would like. Okay, and you're going to play the I Spy game. At the bottom of the paper, it tells you exactly what you are looking for. If you find something inside of the page that you're looking for, you need to circle that item with the marker on the transparency sheet. The transparency sheet can be erased. We're not going to draw directly in the book. So if you find another thing from the list, you would circle it. You have 2 colors because there are 2 different pages. So if I move this over here, I'm going to use my other color. Okay, so if I'm looking for a matchstick, then I would circle that. If I was looking for a blue button, I would circle that. Okay, and you would switch back and forth. When it is cleanup time and you are all done, you need to use your eraser to get rid of those marks, and then you need to return all of the materials where they were. Station number 2 is called Looking 10 times 2. So on the card again, it gives in detail the directions for this assignment. You have to choose one of the pictures from the basket and 1 sheet of paper. Okay. On the sheet of paper, you can write your name, but this is going to go directly in your folder at the end. Okay, you are going to take some time, okay, at least 30 seconds. You are going to really look closely at all the detail of the image that you chose. Okay, once you've taken a really good look, you're going to set that down, and you are going to make a list 1 to 10 on your paper. You are going to then start to describe things that you see in detail. You can list them. You can write words or phrases. So next to number 1, I might write red curtain because I see a red curtain. Okay, I may also write for number 2, queen. Okay, because it appears to me that there's a queen in this picture. So you're writing any word or phrase that comes to mind while looking at this picture. Okay, once you finish all 10, you're going to really challenge yourself. You're going to flip your paper over. You are going to write 1 through 10 again, and you are going to go through and you are going to try to find 10 more small details in the image. Really think about it. Really look closely. Maybe you add some detail or write something about the really small patches all over the dress. Okay? We're looking closely. We're great observers. Station number 3. So this is called the elaboration game. You guys are actually going to be working in groups. Number 1 says split into 2 groups. Okay, you can just split right down the middle evenly. As a group, you're going to pick out one image. There are a bunch of images inside the basket. You want to place the image in the middle of the table or at the corner maybe so that all of you guys can see it and stand around. With the image, you guys are going to take turns describing what you see and make sure you don't repeat what somebody else has already said, so you have to be listening. I might start by saying, I see a really bumpy stone wall. And then the next person would continue by saying, and I see a tall green tree. The next person can add to it, maybe talk about the woman and the umbrella, and it goes on and on and on. Once you've completed with one picture and you've gone around at least 2 or 3 times, you can get a new picture and start over. Station number 4. Okay, for this station, you guys will be doing what is called a back-to-back drawing, meaning you are going to be with a partner and you guys are actually going to be sitting back-to-back. Before you sit back-to-back, you need to grab a blank sheet of paper for yourself, and you're also going to grab one of the drawings that are ready. You do not show your partner the drawing. It has to stay a secret. Once you are sitting back-to-back with your partner, okay, you have to decide who is going to go first with the reading, okay? And by reading, I mean you're reading the picture. You are looking at it and you are going to describe exactly what you see to your partner. So example, for this one I would say, I see a large rectangle taking up most of the paper. You want to talk about the size and where it is. I would say I see a medium-sized circle in the middle of the rectangle, and I have a small triangle underneath. After you have described everything that's in the picture, you will stop and turn and face your partner. You're going to show your partner the drawing, and you're going to compare the drawing that they made and talk about where you guys could communicate better. After that, you guys are going to switch positions. So this time, you will be doing the drawing and listening to your partner's instructions. All right, once we have finished with all of our stations, you guys are going to go back to your packet. Okay, inside your packet, you are going to have to fill out both of the sentence starters that are at the bottom that talk about what you learned today. Today I noticed, please tell me something that you noticed. And I practice closely by, tell me what kind of skill you learned today. Once both of those things are done, both of the sentences are completed, you are going to put this inside of your Artist Habits folder. That goes inside of your table folder, and as always, table folders go to the table folder box.